So colonialism emerged in the 15th century after European powerhouses like Spain and Portugal found their ways to basically develop technological advancements in naval warfare. And basically what they did was they were able to find alternatives to the normal land trading routes, which allowed them to emerge into the Americas. And basically what happened was not only people in America, but people in Asia and Africa were displaced from their origins and exploited. In the 15th century, about 56% of the world's natural resources resided in both Asia and Africa. And that caused me to think, why didn't colonization happen in the opposite way? If the Africans and the Asians had so much power and so many resources, why were they unable to conquer the colonizers? And part of it comes down to the Europeans just being outrightly smarter than the Africans and the Asians and being able to develop these naval techniques quicker. But another part of it comes down to psychology. Psychologists found in 1982 that westernized societies often have a more individualistic way of thinking. They care more about profiting for themselves, whereas in Eastern cultures, community is a bigger thing. Even if you look in African cultures and their civil wars, you see that the wars were based off tribes. They were herds of communities sticking up with each other to fight for their own rights. Whereas with the wars in the European countries were among each other, looking for power and trying to establish empires and dynasties. If we were to reverse the role of colonization, we would most likely see the Ottoman Empire emerge as colonizers. Or perhaps we would see the strong Mali Empire in Africa emerge. The issue with both of these dynasties was that they weren't focused on profiting for themselves. Mansa Musa was widely known to be one of the most generous people in that time. He handed out dozens of gold, and so much so to the point where he caused inflation in the African economy. If we were to see the Ottoman Empire come out as colonizers, we'd see them outstretched from Asia and come through into Europe. At the time, Europe was plagued by many diseases, and in their weakened form, we would have seen the Ottoman Empire take over. But due to their lack of greed, we see colonization happen as it did today. And my final question is, if colonization was to be reversed, would we find it to be fair? Would we sit down and oblige it, or would we question it? And if we were to question it, why don't we question colonization today? The world is not split up by natural ability the world isn't split up by natural ability, but rather by a false fashioned sense of pride. Pride in one's country is what caused the world to be governed the way it is today. Thank you.